hope. Anyway, this half hour of the Radiothon sponsored by Heart Factors Plus, and here's a guy who developed, by the way, the esotique skin cream that Deidre actually uses. I remember when I first met with George, how do you pronounce your last name?
Faltaous.
How are you? Oh, God, what a great, doesn't he have a great voice?
Yes, he does.
I remember when I first met with him, I said, well, let me get Deidre down here and see if this crap's any good.
Right,
so,
right.
Turns out it is. Turns out it works. So, well, thank you for your support of the ranch. And
of course. Can I just say
TCF
something?
and the CJ Foundation.
Let me say something first.
Sure.
Because last year when I first came in, it was my first time on the Radiothon. I was here as a sponsor. You know, my company sponsored the half hour, and I was here. After the many events we've been to for the ranch, and learning more about it, and my personal experience with this kid with cancer that I told you about in the hospital. Yeah. This time I find myself here for the kids, really, not for the company. I think it's amazing what you guys do. Before we talk about product or anything else, I think this is just amazing.
And for a guy like you, is essentially a crook. No.
Right, guy that makes Vicodin, right? Yeah.
Well, you sure came up with some. Oh, well, thank you. I know you mean.
It's true.
And I know you're as sincere as you can be. You did come up with a great product, didn't you?
The heart factors?
Well, no, they start with the esotique first.
I did. I lucked out with it. No. A customer gave me the idea, and I didn't know anything about it, and I made it, and it worked.
No. And then Heart Factors Plus, where did that come from?
Heart Factors Plus is something, it's based on arginine amino acid that the world is going to be talking about in the next 10 years is going to be, I think, staple of cardiovascular medicine. Not yet. Something like vitamin D, when we were saying 10 years ago that you should take vitamin D, and now every GP takes vitamin D levels. A few years back, four doctors won the Nobel Prize in Medicine for discovering the mechanism by which the body dilates its own vessels, which lowers blood pressure, improves circulation, and helps with male intimacy. Tons of clinical studies on it, a lot of evidence, and I came across it because I went to do my insurance physical.
Did you have a limp noodle in your shorts?
No. But I went.
That's why you came up with it.
But I had.
Did you want a
cholesterol? No.
You can tell the eye, man.
But I had more cholesterol, and my family didn't have any cholesterol.
Sure.
And I started looking. I didn't want to take medicine. I was 35, and I figured that's too long to be taking side effects of cholesterol medication and all that stuff. And I came across the book that talks about all the clinical studies on arginine, and I used it, and it's phenomenal amino acid. The benefits you get from it are incredible, and I figured that's a product that I should launch. Our company's an anti-aging company. I thought it's a fantastic product to have.
What's kind of interesting is there's a money-back guarantee, so it must work.
Well, it works. Well, I mean, we offer a money-back guarantee on everything we sell, but it's just I don't make me-too products. I make products that are unique. And this particular product, you can find arginine at GNC or Walgreens, but there is a trick. The arginine, when it's taken by itself, is an oxidant, because nitric oxide is an oxidant. You had to add antioxidants to it. You had to have some heart-healthy stuff added to it, grapeseed extract, zinc, vitamin C, green tea. All these things make Heart Factors a very, I think, special product, and it works well. The feedback we get from it is incredible.
One of the things, speaking of vitamin D, when I was diagnosed with cancer, Deidre was screaming at not screaming, well, nearly, at all of the various doctors, because nobody asked me what my vitamin D level was, and none of the doctors, and I'm talking about the finest doctors in the country. We went all over from San Francisco to Boston to see everybody, and nobody would take my vitamin D level, and it serves as such a precursor for, among other things, cancer and so on. And a normal vitamin D level is 40, and mine was 16 when I was diagnosed. Yeah. And now, as a result of taking these various supplements and so on, it's now 80. And at one point, it was up over 100, right? So
we were at the cardiologist's office. My wife had something called labile hypertension, which just her blood pressure shoots up for no reason every now and then. And the guy didn't know anything about arginine. And I said, how could you, there's such a body of evidence of clinical work done on it. How could you not even know about it as a sport? It's like, well, I'm not surprised, but medicine is coming around full circle. He started telling me about the vitamin D stuff. Like, people should just read on the stuff that's presented and teach themselves.
Well, thank you for your support. We appreciate it, George. Thanks for your business, too, at the radio station.
It's a pleasure.
And here at Fox as well. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr.
It is 34 minutes past the hour. This half hour of the radio